Hello everyone, I'm Wakeisha Harvey, a licensed professional counselor and a partner with Harvey Baker England and Associates, also known as HBE. HBE's overall mission is to help individuals overcome difficult situations, whether it's within organizations or individually. We are all at this point, somewhere in the middle, of either working in the outside world or doing our best to remain in our homes due to the coronavirus. If you're like me, and you're struggling to work from home with multiple daily tasks to complete, several meetings and deadlines to meet, and you've acquired a new role as a homeschool teacher, you know what I mean. I've heard from many people, moms, dads, teachers, grandparents, friends, aunts, uncles, neighbors. I've seen multiple funny memes, Facebook videos and posts, and Instagram posts about the sudden change millions of us in the world have had to quickly adjust to. And although there's nothing funny about our current state, I actually find myself laughing to myself, in addition to a range of emotions on any given day. I've had to change my definition of what success means for me. Currently, if I'm able to complete at least 50% of my work tasks, at least all of the priority assignments for my son for the day, and a little bit of extracurricular fun somehow, I feel like I'm doing well. If I can even manage to prepare adequate meals during the day, at least every other day for my family, I feel like an overachiever. What I've heard most parents say overall is that I feel overwhelmed. I'm speaking to you not only today as a licensed professional counselor, but as a parent. Let's talk. The Marriage and Family Clinic tells us, be careful not to solve a crisis by creating another. Parenting your child during a time of crisis takes a delicate balance. It's a balance between doing too much or doing too little for them. Doing too much, and you could be enabling them and not teaching them good life skills. Doing too little, and we may cause our children to unnecessarily struggle with things that they don't have to. We also risk sending the wrong message that we don't care. Doing too much or too little, and you could create another crisis. What we're all experiencing is a societal crisis. The world is experiencing a widespread crisis that is affecting all parts of the world. Countries, states, cities, local governments, and communities, all walks of life. The crisis has led to a far-reaching emergency that has affected all of our lives. Societal crises can also lead to emotional crises. We might have asked ourselves in the past couple of weeks, am I in crisis? Am I experiencing an emotional crisis? Well, let's talk about it. Symptoms of crisis could be poor sleep, poor appetite, poor hygiene, extreme restlessness, inability to concentrate, pacing, the wringing of the hands, and we might also see these symptoms in our children and adolescents, especially risk-taking behaviors and obsessional thinking. Let's clarify though. Some of us, most of us, are no longer getting up at the same time, combing our hair, getting dressed, fixing lunch for our children, or planning meals for the week. That does not mean that we're in crisis. It just means that we are adjusting to our new norm. We should know the difference when we talk about crisis. Our parents, all of our parents, most of us have probably said, I feel trapped, I feel hopeless, I feel anxious, I feel frustrated, I feel exhausted. Help me, I'm exhausted. Many parents are either exhausted, overworked, or both. But if we're honest with ourselves, most of us probably felt that way before the crisis. Research shows that the average mother receives about 17 minutes of time to herself a day. This particular research studies mothers, but dads, don't get me wrong. We know that you're working hard too. Most of us are taking on roles that we may not be accustomed to. It's essential for parents to take care of themselves. If you all can remember, if you've ever been on a flight, the first thing they tell you is in the event of emergency to put on your oxygen mask first before putting it on a small child. The same applies in this instance. Why? Research has shown that parental care is essential for taking care of children. You can't pour out of an empty cup. Let's talk about parenting tips during this time. I need a timeout. Most of the time, we look at a timeout as if a punishment for our child. We need a timeout, parents, in this time. Make a cozy spot, make a fort with your children, climb in with them, rest, hide, giggle, color a picture from a coloring book, sit with your child, or do simple things like go for a walk. Enjoy the outside as far as we can go at this moment. Take the time to notice things that we were moving too fast to notice in the first place. The birds chirping, the rustle of the trees, the beautiful flowers outside this time of year. It's important that we step back. Another parenting tip would be, I need to change my mood. We might say to ourselves or our spouses or our friends, I'm not in a good mood. I need to change my mood. Or consider the function of music. Turn on uplifting music, maybe a song with a strong message that you need to hear. Whether it's gospel music or country music or R&B music or jazz music, whatever the choice may be, recognize that music is healing for the soul. And it's something that we all need right now, and an important coping skill for you parents. Another parenting tip that we should consider during this time, besides listening to music, besides spending time with our children, besides learning to cope and take time back, is to think about what we listen to. We've heard people say, all I hear is bad news. If you turn on the news, everything you hear is about death, dying, trends, statistics related to the coronavirus. Minimize your exposure to media. Constant negative information leads to a negative and fearful frame of mind, and ultimately, constant anxiety, which leads to symptoms and feelings of being in crisis. Parents, another tip that we want to say or talk about today is just simply, I need to talk. It is important to recognize when it's time to reach out. The unfortunate state of the virus has caused us to isolate and stay in our homes, but we must not underestimate the importance of social media and our ability to connect to others by reaching out via social media. Don't forget about your friends, your family, those that support you. It's okay to call a friend and say, I'm having a hard time. Do you mind if I talk to you about this? Also, don't forget the importance of your social network. Your teachers, your parents, school administrators and principals, your community leaders, and of course your therapists. Parents, it's okay if you're feeling in crisis and you feel like you need support, it's okay to reach out to a therapist. With that, parents, I want to say farewell, stay safe, and remember, utilize your social networks, utilize your support, and recognize that you cannot pour from an empty cup. God bless you.